3 fingers away from you, D.
I need you to duck as much as you might not
3
enjoy
fingers.
this. I got to get under your desk.
Like 3 fingers deep.
Fine.
Just get up on it. There you go. Now
Mic
speak.
check, mic check. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're not bad. We can hear you. We can hear you. Whenever you go to speak live, you might want to get a little bit louder, but I can always turn your mic up a little bit too. We'll just go with it.
I'll go louder.
That'll work for you.
All right, try to
Okay, everybody, we're live.
We're
Wave to
live.
the camera.
Ow, Scott.
We're not live.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, if y'all are watching video now.
Were we live on video too?
Yes, we were.
Doc was trying to get a promotion.
By any means
By any
necessary.
means necessary. She said she wanted a Ferrari. That's how you're gonna have to earn it.
I said I wanted the 2014 BMW i8.
Get it right.
Crystal, fix your hair, Crystal.
Oh,
Can you hear?
is it,
Oh,
is it really
Push it,
bad?
head it down.
Push it
Just,
down.
yeah,
That's
push it
She
down.
said push it down.
That's good.
Good.
Yeah.
So now you have the official new setup of headruns with that. And that's for everybody else.
Go good. It works.
Is it better?
We good?
That's better, baby.
Yes.
Zach
Okay.
said no. Look, this is
No,
why I keep
you
our
still have the
hairstyles
proof.
on.
All right, Zach, hair on. Fix the hair.
Here.
Oh, this helps
Here.
me.
And we're
Oh,
live. I'm only on camera. Thank God. Okay. I was like, are we live acting this way? Just on video.
Yeah, I prefer earbuds.
Right.
you're good.
If you weren't, he would come fix it.
yeah. He's our in-house hairdresser. He does everyone's hair. And Zach
Okay,
is
now,
actually a
you're live on
platform
video, but
artist with
everybody's
Rock
fine.
Your Hair.
That's right.
Okay, I'm upstairs.
Thank you, baby.
Y'all enjoy.
All right, thank you, honey.
The testicles are loud in the room.
Okay.
We love
Wow.
you.
I'm gonna let this song finish. It's got 1 minute left. Just a little. I don't know.
All right, wait, Christina's not in camera.
No, are you gonna go back?
in camera. Where should I be?
Here.
Come
Hold on.
towards me.
Let me-
Slide that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm fine with the headphones.
Just slide up under.
Just slide up under.
Under
desk.
under the desk.
There you go. All right.
And then what I'll do is,
Perfect. Okay. So you can see you up there. Oh,
Did you unplug these all together? Hello. 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 No.
what are you,
I
What
don't
do you-
care about my hair.
woman, what are you doing?
Those other ones aren't fitting in my ears. They're too
Those
big.
are ugly. You don't like mine?
You took them away from me.
Moved them because you are making us
Okay.
look so professional.
Well, honey, I'm sorry. Just because my hair was messed up didn't mean I had to change headphones. I could have fixed my hair.
just do it. Do it. Go back with it, Crystal.
Like a headband.
Like a
You want me to go get your
headband,
hat
yeah.
you had on last night?
Yeah, the hat worked
Thank
pretty good.
There we go. Perfect.
The camera can't see me that good anyway.
That's
I
fine.
really
Are you
don't
okay?
care.
You're okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
All right,
You're
are we
okay.
good?
I guess.
All right, Scotty, get.
Just kidding. We're good.
I'm trying. Every time I make my way to the door, we
She's giving
This
you
is
the dirty
too
look.
funny.
all right. Hold- hold.
Scotty.
Oh my gosh.
No.
We're never going to get the show started.
No, we're not.
Oh my gosh. It's never going to leave.
It's just one more thing.
I'm just here for the ride. Sorry. It's normally not. I don't even know what's going on right now.
Because usually I have all this set up. We were just behind a little
He was
Right,
too
but-
busy with his arts and
bit. There
crafts.
you go. Well, I had the microphone and the headphones.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
honey.
you,
You're the
Scotty.
best.
You're awesome. You're the best.
All right, now I'm going away.
Okay.
You don't have to go away.
You
just
don't
say
have
it
to
there.
go away. Just out of here.
We'll be live right after this tune. If y'all are watching YouTube, you're getting your eyes full about right now. Yeah, I can do all that.
I'm just putting you there so you know where it's at.
Yeah.
I just moved it. That's why.
You've taught me well, honey. I know how to find all that now. Aren't you proud of me? I even started the cameras all by
Is
myself.
that it? Everybody's headphones on. Everybody's mics on. I'm gone.
Yep. Yep.
Just
Yes.
remember, Abby's now out of order, but she's blue taped. Okay. Everybody else still in order.
I got
Abby's
you.
just blue taped. Okay.
You worry too much, DJ. He does. He's a perfectionist, unlike me.
Yes, we're just Crystal and I are kind of go with the flow people.
But it always works out just fine. There's a lot less stress. So it'll be okay.
Mhm.
As long as my hair's not sticking up, I'm good.
Look, and as long as my nails are done, I'm good.
I know, right?
Oh, here we go.
This is actually the commercial.
Oops. Okay.
You know what? Seems like we're starting off a little bit rough this evening, but guess what? It is 7 something and it's Thursday night, which means it's a ladies talk. This is DJ Smiles. You're listening to Just for Fun Radio. And if we can ever get all this out, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Doc, why don't you take it away?
Hey, DJ Smiles.
Hello.
It's been 2 hours since I saw you last.
I know.
You've changed so much in 2 hours.
I did change shirts.
I know, right?
That's about it. Change shirts.
And look, and we brought some friends with us tonight.
Yes, we have some great guests in the studio along with Zach Glaze.
Hey, everybody.
And Abby's in the house too. She had to take a phone call, but you want to introduce our guests?
I absolutely will. So to my left is Christina. Is that right?
I'm a Christine, so I can remember your name pretty well. Haha.
And Christina is the CFO of Oxygen.
Yep, private CFO at Oxygen Financial.
Financial. That's what we're waiting on because these lovely ladies are in here to help us all rebuild some things that get screwed up in life sometimes due to choices made and some things that are out of our control, of course. And then we have the lovely Dee.
Hello.
Hello, Dee. And Dee is one of our sponsors with Exclusive Automotive Group. So thank you so much. We actually literally pulled her out of the dealership tonight.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for coming in. Well, you know, when Crystal and I were talking about topic ideas and we had we went through the 5 things that women needed in order to have a strong, solid foundation. Finance is so critical, because a lot of women stay in bad relationships because of finance. A lot of women won't move ahead in life because they don't know what financial moves to make. And Crystal, you've been with the same company for 15 years? 18.
Sorry, 18 years I've been with the company that I'm with.
Yeah. So you've been with, and I'm sure that your company has a 401k. As I was with the same university for 17 years and we had a 401k. And I remember when I started, I was 21 years old when I started. And I remember they gave me this book of like all of the 401ks that I could choose from. I'm 21 years old. I have no idea what I'm picking, but you're telling me that I've got to be in a 401k. So I just went down and I literally counted 1, 2, 3, 4 pick, 1, 2, 3, 4 pick, 1, 2, 3, 4 pick. And that was how I started my 401k. And, after 11 years of having 1, 2, 3, 4 picks, I was like, that's probably not the best strategy.
And even now, I've been invested, I'm invested in my company, we're union and that kind of good stuff, which is all great, but I am totally lost whenever it comes to my 401k, really. I know that I put money in there. I know that there's a percentage that my company, contributes. But as far as what I could do to make it better and that kind of stuff, I should have already reached out to someone and said, hey, how can I get the best out of this? Because basically right now, I look and I got X amount of dollars in there. Seems like a lot, but really whenever the time comes and I go to retire, it's really not that much money. And then they have it to where you can take loans against it and pay it back and all that kind of stuff, which I don't do. But there's just so much that we don't know about the 401k and retirement plans and just things that we can do, even if you don't have the option of 401k, to plan for a better future and just invest in your money, period. But I think the biggest hang up we have as females is the whole credit, because although I've been with my company for 18 years, my credit score does not reflect that. My credit score is not based on how long I have been with my company. And I could go see Dee right now to get a car and she'd say, Crystal, you need to work on your credit. And I could say, you know what? I've been with Kroger for 18 years and and I have my 401k and I have all that. And she would still be saying, Crystal, you need to work on your credit. And so that's kind of what we're here for.
Yeah, yeah. So, Christina, talk to us about because a lot of people, when I mentioned the idea that I wanted to bring a financial planner on the show, some people said, "Well, aren't financial planners only for like the really wealthy?" And that's not true, as I've learned. Financial planners are for everybody.
Absolutely. I think, in general, what you got to start somewhere. And
Right.
so the earlier you start, the more that, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah. So the earlier you start, the better off you are. So at some point, whether you're 21, 25 or 31 or 40, you've got to start somewhere. And so what I typically recommend, especially for the younger folks who are getting into their new jobs, is at least, if you've got a 401k, at least contribute up to whatever that 401k company is matching you to. That's the first way to start. So if they're matching you up to 6% on every dollar that you put in, at least do that. Okay. So that's the first thing that I always recommend clients do is, if you have no idea what to do, invest, but at least take the free money that your company is giving you, because that's just free money.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
that right there should be a no-brainer. But you know what? A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
they really, really don't, unless you're with a company that sits down and kind of briefs you on that, which mine didn't.
Mine didn't
mean,
either.
They just said, in fact, I heard from another coworker, after I'd already been there for about 4 or 5 years, and they said, "You're not invested in the 401k." I'm like, no. I mean, I was 22 at the time. Who'd have thought I wasn't thinking about that at the time? So,
Yeah.
Right.
And I always recommend, however long you've been with the company, definitely every year ask about your benefits. So sometimes the owners may not tell you about them, or they may be changing your benefits, every year. Make sure, if you set a reminder in your calendar every October 1st or November 1st, remind yourself, did I get a benefits change? Did I get new health insurance? Did I get, new perks that you weren't aware of in the past?
Okay. Okay.
So what you're saying is that a lot of companies, or some companies, do like they change every year. They may offer different benefits.
Absolutely.
See,
So typically, what you'll find is most companies will do like an open enrollment program during October, November, at the end of the year, when they're changing all of their health insurance information, disability, life insurance information. So you want to make sure that, during that time frame, that you're taking advantage of, the best options that are available to you. And then some companies, if you do have a 401k plan, again, you can actually, for some of your companies, you may be able to enroll in your 401k plan anytime throughout the year. So you definitely want to make sure that you're up to date with, just your company benefits in general.
cool. Now, what about this? Let's say that I don't work for a big company, and let's just say I'm an independent, like a hairstylist. How would they go about basically investing in a 401k? Just contact like a Merrill Lynch or something? Is that what they do?
Yeah, so you can actually, as a business owner or a sole proprietor, or if you're on your own, you've actually got a lot more options than a normal company does. So you've got, various types of accounts. So, for example, one option is a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. If you qualify for it, you can max it out every year at $5,500 per year. And that's one option for individuals as well as individual business owners. Another option for a business owner or a sole proprietor would be a SEP IRA. How that works is that you can put up to 25% of your profits into that SEP IRA. So, for example, if you have a profit of $10,000 one year, after all of your business deductions, you can put up to $2,500 into a SEP IRA. You've also got an option for a simple IRA, which the IRS says you can put up to $12,000. So as long as you make $12,000, you can put up to that maximum. And then if you're really profitable as a business owner, you can actually set up your own solo 401k through a company. And there are companies out there that actually can provide that for you.
That's cool. See, I never
Very
knew that.
cool. I didn't know that.
Me neither. And you know, Scotty, that's the situation Scotty's in now with Just for Fun Radio. He doesn't have some big corporation that he's answering to, of course. I mean, I have mine, but I know that's something we have spoke of before. Like, okay, what do I need to be doing as far as his retirement goes? So that's good stuff to know. So maybe we just I need to bank on his 401k and say, look, we need to start putting all the money in yours because I think you're going to benefit a little bit more than I would. So that's very interesting.
And
Definitely.
one other thing, that most folks don't realize is the IRS, if you do have a 401k available to you, the IRS says you can put up to $18,000 pre-tax into that 401k. Now, the other side of it is some companies also offer a Roth 401k, which you can also put in all after-tax money up to $18,000, and at some point in the future get to take that Roth 401k money out completely tax-free.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How about that?
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
So you can have both a Roth and a traditional. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I've had people that have retired with my company they were there for 30 plus years. And we used to get like bonuses, but we don't anymore. But anyway, what she would do is she would take those bonuses and she would roll it over into her 401k instead of accepting them. And then her husband was really good with the stock market, and Kroger's always had pretty decent stock. So he would take that money and he would buy stock. And I mean, there was just so many ways. And anyway, whenever she retired, whenever she told me how much money she had to retire on, well, I was just going, wow. I mean, but her husband knew his way around all of that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
he just managed it right. And it never cost them any more money than what she was making. They just managed their money right. So, but the biggest thing I feel like we're struggling with right now, though, in a lot of women's lives, and even friends that I know of and I have dealt with myself, is to rebuild our credit. And that's what I was excited about having Christina and Dee here, because Dee had touched base on some stuff. I mean, she's came back from the situations like I'm kind of speaking of now, but a lot of times whenever we rebuild ourselves from broken marriages, broken homes, whether it's businesses or things that happen to us in life, our credit is one of the first things that take a hit.
Exactly. Unfortunately. That's a lot of what we do at Exclusive Automotive Group. We make sure that we put you in the best position possible as far as your vehicle purchase. What the sad part is, it's about lack of knowledge. So we've actually teamed up with a company that does legal credit restoration for some of our customers, as well as just giving customers the best knowledge that we can. When you see someone that's came in that's had financial problems, or unfortunately, I really just don't believe that people just don't want to pay their bills. Something in life had to have happened to put you at the position where you had a repossession, you had a foreclosure, you had the charge-offs. But knowing how to make sure that you structure yourself in the best position possible, knowing that, okay, you know what, you may have a repossession that was over a year ago, but you don't have to go to a buy here, pay here and get the worst car that's not going to report on your credit, that's going to be breaking down, that's going to take your payments every week, bi-weekly, and do nothing for you. Unfortunately, I will be honest, credit actually determines what your interest rates are going to be. But however, like we tell people, okay, you may take this car right now at a 24% interest rate, but pay it on time, establish with the bank that, you know, good payment history. We can turn around, we can help you refinance. We can put you in the vehicle that you really came here to get before, instead of the vehicle that you only could qualify for. We really try to make sure that we help our customers in every way possible. I tell people all the time, where you start is not where you finish, but you have to make sure that you're making the best financial moves possible, no matter what it is. You know, if it's a $200 credit card limit, make sure that you're not utilizing it more than 30% so that it doesn't hurt your score. You know, you want to make sure that whatever you have, no matter what it is, you're utilizing it to put you in the best position possible.
And that's some really good advice.
That's really good advice.
And to know that they can come to you and not feel like you're just going to be like, you know what, your credit's horrible, get out of here.
No, we would never. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't.
And there are
think-
dealerships that pretty much do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they do.
They get your basic information, they walk away for a little while, they leave you sitting there, then they come back and they find a way to kind of shun you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
it's so sad because I get people all the time. I know you guys have been in, and sometimes my phone blows up so crazy because I make sure this is personal for me. I want every single one of my customers to have an exclusive auto buying experience. Whether you have a 388 score or 800 score, you're still our customer. You're still valuable to us. My goal, my partner Sean's goal, is to make sure we give you the best buying experience possible. And with giving you the best buying experience is helping to better educate you. Unfortunately, people get in this situation because if you think back about credit, the only thing our parents told us is, "Oh, don't get it, it's bad."
that's
And
right.
it's not that credit is bad. You just have to know how to use your credit, and we have to learn to break the cycle. We can't keep telling our children, "Oh no, you don't want to get credit." That's not true. Some of the richest people in this world are because they know how to utilize credit and other people's money to their advantage. So that's exactly what we try to do.
That's really good. I mean,
Well, Dee hit something really critical when she talked about, how you grow up dictates a lot of how you view money. And, I know that growing up, my dad was a blue collar worker. My mom was blue collar. And, but that I grew up with both of them owning their own businesses. I grew up with both of them having retirement plans. My dad's in assisted living right now. And he had enough in his 401k that it's supplementing his assisted living. So we didn't have to put him into a nursing home that only accepted Medicare and Medicaid. So, I mean, we had options.
Right.
That's
That's important.
And that's so huge, because I remember when my sister and my brother were living with my parents, because there's 15 years between me and my sister and 17 between me and my brother. So I grew up in the credit card era. And, I can remember when we would go to Davidson's and Richards and my mom would pull out the credit card and pay for stuff. And I just automatically assumed that everywhere you went, as long as you had plastic, you had money. And then they gave me a checkbook. And I never will forget, I was at Scott's bookstore. I would go there every Friday and I wrote a check and I bounced my first check. And the bank called my mom. And my mom came to me and she's like, "Okay, you wrote a check for $50 for books and you only had $30 in the bank." I was like, "I can't be overdrawn." And she's like, "You only had $30 in the bank." I'm like, "No, but I've got all of these checks." I'm like, I had more checks. I can't be overdrawn. And, she told me, she's like,
Gotta have the money with
"Yeah,
the checks.
you got to have the money." She's like, "The number of checks that you have doesn't equate to the money in the bank."
Mhm.
And she's like, if you want to spend money, you need to call the bank and see how much you have in the bank. And this was before we had the ATM cards.
Mhm.
And that stuck with me. And so that's the lesson that I taught my daughter. And, even now my daughter she's a junior in college. And, and I've told her, because she just opened her 4th bank account. I'm like, "Okay, why do you have 4 different bank accounts?" She's like, "Well, Mommy, you have 4 different bank accounts." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, but I had 4 different bank accounts for a reason." And,
I've never had more than one. I don't know what I'd do with. Well, I've had a savings and I have a checking account.
Really?
Yes.
well, but every
I'm
woman.
afraid I'd mess up.
No, you got to have a
You
squirrel
gotta have-
account.
Mhm.
You have to have a squirrel account, Crystal.
What would I put in it?
That's where you put your mad money.
I don't have any mad money.
Yes, you do. Get mad.
Well, what's interesting though is that what some folks forget to do is with that, what I usually recommend is figure out take your own inventory. So what actually comes in and hits your bank account after all of your deductions and health insurance and 401k, what actually comes into your bank, and then what is actually your expenses. Like, what are your mandatory expenses? Car note, mortgage, rent, utilities, cell phone, different things that are fixed expenses. After that, whatever's left over, that's your squirrel money or money that you need to apply to savings or paying down debt. And I think that's the easiest way to also, again, start to rebuild your credit and figure out, how much you can put towards some of that debt.
I like that idea.
I do too, but then how am I going to get my nails done and all that good stuff?
Scotty.
That's all part of it.
She's got it all figured out.
Scotty.
So I do get what you're saying, and I 100% agree. And there was a time that I had some bad credit, and I worked on it, and I got it built back up, and I had pretty decent credit for quite a while. And then I went through a divorce, and I had a bank foreclosure. It was a pretty big foreclosure, about $250,000 foreclosure. So, and pretty much, and then there was just a couple of very small credit cards on there, but then I've just left it. I'm talking like $400 or $500 balances, and since then I just haven't touched it. I'm like, maybe time will do its thing; it'll just go away.
Well, no, then you also have to understand that there are ways for you to legally get your credit restored. There are ways to get that legally removed from all three major credit bureaus.
Because I looked, a few weeks ago, we were looking, and I looked, and it was like your credit score. I think it was like 600 or 610, and I'm like, ugh, it just did not make me smile.
Well, okay. Well, let me tell you this. Unfortunately, we have dealt with people with credit scores in the 300s.
Wow.
And we still get them right.
Wow.
So when I tell you that Sean is the best at
Yeah.
what he does,
Yeah.
because I didn't think at 300, I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. He's like, we canceling Christmas. He's like, no, it's still away. So you have to understand it might be at 600. But you really have to look at, number one, you need to look at the last time these accounts reported.
Yeah.
You need to look at the date of last activity on these accounts, because a lot of times this stuff will get old. You can do a dispute yourself, and you'd be surprised that by writing just simple letters yourself, what you can get off your credit report that will really, really have a major positive effect on your score. So just because you're in the 600s, I know you want to be in the 7s, of course, or 8s. You can still get there. 610 is, I'm telling you, I'd be happy. You want to buy a car?
Right. Well, then I was going to, we went to a couple of different dealerships, and you know how they'll pull your credit. And then that shows up there, and then someone
They
said
shop
that's
you.
bad for you, because you could see where they were already reaching out to other banks or whatever to
Yeah,
see if they could get us approved.
You really have to be careful with that. That's something that I'm so glad that we don't do.
Yeah.
You have to, when you go certain places, you really want to have a relationship with whoever you're trying to establish business with. And I say that to mean this. If you come to our dealership and I know, let's just say Wachovia Bank or Wells Fargo Bank, if I know that you don't qualify for this bank's program, I'm not going to send you to this bank. And
Yeah, and it seems like what these major
and
dealers do
they
is they
send
just
you to
send
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah, they send you
Yeah.
to everybody. So what that does is now you have all these hard inquiries and these hard pulls on your credit, which isn't helping your credit anymore. So you have to really, really, really be careful when you go to purchase a vehicle, especially when you go to these large dealerships. Tell them, hey, I don't want you shopping me all over town. And you really, really have to let them know that you are not going to stand for that. And just knowing your rights as a consumer. Just because you're in there trying to get financing does not give them the right to send you all over town and rip you to shreds.
Well, we went to the local Jeep dealership about not even a month ago, and they were really nice and everything, but they asked for our information and we gave it to them, and that should have been a red flag to us, like, hey, no, don't search our credit. But they did, and it must not have been so bad because they've still been reaching out to us like, come on, we can do this, we can do that. But of course, this guy wanted to make this sell that day because it was the last day of the month and he needed to sell that Jeep that day. But anyway, yeah, it was a couple of days later whenever I pulled our credit report, and yeah, there was lots of inquiries on there. So I was like, yeah, we probably should have asked them if they were going to do that first.
One of the other ways, going back to what's on your credit report, like if you've got old accounts, I've found that you can call in directly to those collection agencies. And if you've got the cash to do it, you can also settle them yourselves. So without having to pay the whole amount. So for example, if you got a $400 collection account and you call in and say, hey, I'm ready to settle this, you know, what can you give me? I can pay 200. Sometimes they'll actually settle with you, and immediately, you know, 30 days later, that'll come off your report and increase your credit score that way.
Let me tell you what happened to me one time with that, though. I had a Target National card. It was quite a big balance, though, because it was a Target Visa. And they let me pay it off for $1,200, which was a very small portion of the balance, which isn't bad. And I was like just excited to get that big card off of, you know, that big debt off of my shoulders. Okay, I filed taxes, no big deal. You know, at the time I had 3 kids on my taxes. I got my tax refund. Everything was cool. And all of a sudden I got a letter in the mail from the IRS says you owe us. It was like $600 and some odd dollars. And I'm like, how do I owe you money? You know, I paid my taxes and I just got my refund and all that kind of stuff. No, you still have to pay taxes on that full amount, even the part that you were relinquished of. And I was like, well, damn, I should have just gave them the rest of what I owed them and instead of the IRS. But I mean, it was quite a difference. So
You have to, whenever you do that, because that's considered a 1099-C, cancellation of debt.
yeah.
You want to make sure before you pay or settle with anyone, you want them to say, hey, I'll settle with you. But before I give you a dime, I want a letter saying that I am released of any further activity. I'm released of any further financial obligation to your company, as well as it will be deleted from all 3 credit bureaus. And you get that letter before you pay them anything.
Wow.
That way, when you do that, then you're done. But
Well, there you
have
go, people.
You have to get it. You have to get it up front.
There you go. See, if I'd have known that, if I'd have just talked to you ladies before now. So anybody who's listening, you know, you need to do that because they got me. I didn't pay them until the following year. Whenever I paid, but when I filed taxes, of course, they kept it, which I knew they were going to do that. I did call and talk to them, so I wouldn't have to worry about them knocking on my door and trying to repossess anything I had. But they kept their change. So that's interesting. I wish I'd known that.
And, you know, and it's always stuff like this that you learn after the fact.
Of
Like,
course.
you know, I remember working at the university, you had mentioned the 401k loans, and the university really pushed us taking loans against our 401ks. I mean, they pushed it like crazy. And so everybody at this particular university, we all had loans against our 401ks.
Oh, wow.
Fast forward, you know, now I joined this university in 2001. I got promoted to Dean of Graduate Studies in 2009. So my life is going great. You know, I am an executive. I'm getting bonuses. I'm getting salary. Life is good. I get hit with an incurable muscle disease. So I have to go out under the executive compensation plan, which pays me 66 2/3% of my salary. But remember, I've been taking loans against my 401k. So when you go out on long-term disability with your employer and you have an outstanding 401k loan, the loan gets canceled. It gets reported as income. You get
Wow.
taxed
Holy cow.
on that income. And so come tax time, you know, I'm looking at a tax bill of, it looks like I made $122,000 that year. So it kicked me in a whole nother tax
Right.
bracket.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, that, and so that's why I tell people, you know, I made it a point to go back to the university, and I told everybody at that point, I was like, look, they're doing a cloak and dagger on you. I need all of y'all to figure out a way to pay off your loans, because if you get sick, if you're out for 12 weeks and you have a 401k loan, it can automatically be counted as a disbursement. The minute your FMLA leaves, that can, the company has the right to count that as a disbursement, because technically you're not drawing a paycheck when you're out on FMLA. You pull from sick leave, which is not W-2 pay. So anytime you're outside of the W-2 pay scope, it gets counted as a disbursement. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's also true if you have a 401k loan and you end up getting a new job or leaving the company. They actually require you to, depending on the 401k company or 403b, they require you to pay that that entire loan back within a 90-day period. If not, then you would take that as a distribution from your 401k or retirement plan, and that balance of that loan would then be taxed as ordinary income.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you get hit twice on the taxes with it
Wow.
because you get the, what is it, 10%? You get a 10% penalty.
It's a 10% penalty if you are under 59 and a half, and then it's just whatever your regular tax bracket is. So if you're in
Yeah.
the 25% tax bracket, you're going to pay 25 plus that 10. If you're in a 28%, it's 28 plus the additional 10% penalty.
Yeah. So it's like a 30-something%
Good
tax
Lord.
penalty. Yeah.
I'm glad to know that
Wow.
because I got 401k and I do know that I can take loans out, but I did not know all of that. So
Yeah. Don't ever take a 401k loan. And if you leave a company, don't cash out that 401k, roll it over.
yeah.
Because you're going to be hit with that 30-something or 40-something or 50-something.
So they're going to take almost half of what you've basically saved.
Yeah, if you try to take a distribution, if you've taken a loan and you leave the company in any shape or form or terminate or separate, they're going to tax you ordinary income plus a 10% penalty.
Wow.
Now, if you don't have a loan and you have an old 401k, typically what you can do is do a rollover into an IRA or roll it over into your new 401k company, and there's no penalty in doing that.
Well, we have got some good information already out there, everybody. We're going to have to take a really quick break, but everybody hang tight. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask these ladies as far as financial advice, please feel free to call in. You can call us at 678-760-1556. Is that right?
My note. Is
Yeah.
that right, Zach?
760-1556. So feel free to call us whenever we return from our break. We're going to take a break really quick and we will be right back. Stay tuned. You are listening to Ladies Talk on Just for Fun Radio. Hey, Doc, I remembered our break. The bathroom's right there, ladies, if y'all have got to go to the bathroom, or y'all are welcome to refill on wine if you like. I should have got some bottled waters. We might have some bottled waters upstairs.
Now we just keep drinking some wine.
Me too. But that is some really good stuff because I had no idea as far as the 401k goes that it does you like that.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been times I've thought
Unmute
about.
the mic.
Unmute what mic?
Disconnect the mic, rather.
Oh.
Oh, my bad. Okay, let's do this.
It wasn't me this time.
I'm glad Scotty's listening.
Thank goodness, Scotty. Thank goodness for Scotty.
I thought I did, but you know what I did? I just pressed to talk.
So I
instead of
just
press
texted
the
me and said, I'll take some wine.
mic. That's because they're listening. Like, oops.
Now, sometimes it might make sense to take a loan if you've got like 30% credit card interest rates.
Right.
It might make sense, but it really depends on the stability of the company.
Well, see, the reason I took my loan because I was buying a house, and so I took the loans because I was like, I think that
So how
my
do y'all
total
deal
loans
with
were like
people with, like,
$19,000 or
low credit scores with
$20,000.
y'all,
I was
with the
pulling in
corporates? 'Cause I'm
bonuses
due
of
about
over
to pay your place just
$40,000 a
because
year.
of my credit.
So
you
I
have
was like,
any
I could
reason
have
for that?
easily paid
I
for
had
that. Yeah.
one
How old?
And I was like, it was no big deal. But then when you don't
almost
count on getting
You
sick
didn't need
at
back
37 years old.
because see, I had one
And,
of several like
it's just like,
You go to major dealerships?
mhm.
That's
And
why.
they were like, I needed like 2,000 down and
Yeah.
paying like 500-600 a month, and I was like, I can't do that.
Can't, right. 'Cause you're going to put me back in the situation I was in before.
Exactly, and I mean,
I
like
want
you
to
said
talk about
earlier,
that when we come back
things
from the
happen
break
where
because
you
I
have
didn't
no
know
choice,
that
and
until it
it was my
happened to me.
option. I let
Yeah.
them. Like I was
and
making
once
my
it
payments
happens,
for the
you
most
get red
part. I was
flags with all of the
tired of
insurance
paying
companies.
it, and I did not
And
see
you
my
can't get
total
it.
score
So,
going
Going
down.
down.
yeah, I
Because it
definitely
was
want
like
to
the
talk about
interest
that,
just
about
kept building
buying
and building. So I was
supplemental
like, take
disability
it. I don't even
insurance.
care at this
Mhm.
point.
Because if you
And I've
leave your
almost got
employer,
like I'm doing sellers
on.
now. But I
Okay.
mean, I've almost
Sellers reports, though. I think
They
they
do.
report. Yeah.
every 3
Yes.
months I think,
'Cause
and I don't
remember-
have much left. Like I think I only have like 8 or 9 months left.
Okay.
But it's just so aggravating because their
Yeah, what
cars
does
aren't
your
the best,
company
you
do?
know.
Do you
And I
all,
put
like,
more
work with
work in it
people
than what
like
it's
that?
worth, and then by the end, the interest is.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
why don't you come see me? What do you have?
Right now, I have a 2005 Cobalt.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Come see me because we're
Okay.
doing. I'm like, when I tell you,
Okay,
this
please
is the
mention all
time.
that when we come back.
That's
Yeah,
what
you got it.
everybody's telling me.
Yeah, we'll make a deal work. It's not a deal. I'll
Hey,
take
that
care of you.
works for me.
I'll take care of you.
I
Here's my personal number.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
sorry.
Thank you.
Right.
So just
Yeah, I'll definitely give you a call.
I do.
Yeah, because I wish that I
Yeah,
had
I'm like
known
anybody
about,
that comes for Just for Fun
the
Radio.
the
It's,
insurance side
it's
of
gonna
it,
be
though.
taken care of.
because
I
that
mean,
is-
you're gonna be taken care of
oh,
regardless. But
Christina,
no,
that's so
Right.
right. Because me and my
Being
wife
partnership.
has.
Right. Well, no,
and
you.
she had
He'll
been
go
great.
get it.
She'd
He'll
been
go get it.
with the
That's not a
University of
problem.
Boston.
So do y'all have like newer cars
Yeah.
or is it?
2008
out on
to
disability.
2015.
Oh,
her
okay, see,
life
and that's like my thing. I'm like, I'm ready to get a car that I can be
Yeah,
happy
and
making payments on.
Right.
I don't need no Cooper. Because I'm about to be like traveling a lot.
I do not. I don't. I got somebody who was going
Yeah.
crazy over this Mini Cooper. One thing about
I don't either.
I don't.
No, you
I
don't.
mean, I just.
No, they don't.
I've drove
Yeah,
one.
she loved it. I was just like,
See, like
full of power.
it is though. It is. But I'm gonna
They-
tell you this.
And the way the gauges and everything is so cool.
It is the cutest, but you have to remember it's made by
Yes.
BMW. So you're gonna pay,
Yeah.
baby. You're gonna
Oh,
pay.
yeah.
Minnie is a whole nother nation. When I went to go take that car for service,
Right.
I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah, it's
like little
it's a
mini
journey.
world.
Oh, yes.
It's crazy.
I need something good about traveling a lot.
Oh gosh, come see me, honey. Come see me. Come see me.
Mhm.
You wanna come see me this weekend?
oh my god.
When are y'all open? Are y'all open 7 days a week?
Sunday is by appointment only. So it's like I would have to get you approved before you come in on Sunday because the banks aren't open on Sunday.
Right.
So we'll just be sitting there looking at each other.
Don't tell me that. 'Cause that's even okay with me.
Right.
Because usually I work Monday through Sunday. But,
Okay.
What's wrong with
Nothing. I'm putting my phone back. She
Oh.
gave me her card, and I didn't want to lose it.
Oh.
So I was putting it in my case.
Oh my gosh, these gluten-free crackers are so good. Oh my god.
Did you get those all new?
I sure did.
Did you really?
I made an Aldi's run without you today. I cheated on
I
you.
went to Aldi's for the first time the other day, and I was so impressed.
They have a lot of good
did
stuff.
like it.
They
And
really
I'm-
do.
I'm
Mhm.
so Kroger because I work for them. That for me to go anywhere else besides Kroger's, we'll be going back live in about a minute and a half.
Can we add another song? Because I want to get wine.
Okay. Just for you, dog.
You can even throw some Melissa Etheridge in there for grins and giggles.
Can you tell how many people are listening?
Kinda. It's kind of skewed because through the apps, I really can't. I can tell you that 17 people are like on a computer listening, but I can pull up the.
He's listening.
I can pull it, but as far as the apps, and that's the thing, there's so many people that listen through apps.
Because we're also syndicated on TuneIn Radio.
Oh.
And see, the doc is telling us a way that we can find out how to do that also. So we're working on that. Cool. Because we want to know. We want to be able to tell people this is how many people we have listening right now. We just want to know.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. It's called the Nelson something.
And then what was the other one that you have?
That's truffle cheese. I don't.
No, the one that you left in the box.
Dark chocolate cookies are
Oh, that
addicting.
was Chervie, the one that I didn't open.
Yeah.
We can open the Chervie if you want to, though, because that truffle cheese is not good.
That's the one you were saying that had mushrooms in it?
Yeah.
Zach is amazing.
He's young and he's vibrant and
He's
and Crystal, your hair is banging.
She is watching.
Awesome though. Vanessa
Yeah, the
Etheridge
thing that
songs
you
are
did.
too long.
She did for you last week.
Oh.
Michael did that. I was amazed.
Oh, I
Did
was
like
breaking down crying in the gym. I had to
He
leave.
said that. I'm like, God.
That
I mean,
was
do you have a
unreal.
car?
Yeah,
like 10 hours.
Yeah, I've got time.
Yeah, it was like mind blowing.
Okay.
And you need to take that off.
Thank you.
to go from. Like you have to close it out because people can still donate.
I work with
People can still
business owners,
donate on
individual
it.
clients. I pretty much work with everybody.
Because I had a client saying, "Oh, I thought it was up. I'm gonna go back and donate." I was like, "Oh no, you're not."
Some of our texts to just everybody.
About it.
Hey, me.
Yeah, it's huge, especially for business owners. like depending on what you guys got going on, so many ways to just reduce taxes. Everybody's always concerned about taxes.
Okay, what are you using? The dark chocolate cookies are good.
These are addicting.
And they're not expensive at all. At Aldi.
Really? Oh,
I know.
so I live in town in Atlanta. So
They're all over though.
You
Aldi.
look like you have a cute little condo.
I do. I do. It's right in Midtown.
Real modern.
That's all right. What's the one place Jennifer Wolf was doing work at? What's the name of that area?
It's a new one they're working on.
Thank you for the snacks.
Oh, I love. We always got to have snacks, girl.
I literally was texting or emailing last night or Facebooking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what are we doing?" And Anise was like, "Yeah, you know, just wine, sitting around the campfire, drinking some wine."
Pretty much what we do.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And I'm walking, literally, wine is how I'm drinking. I was like, "Oh yes."
But you know, we found Scotty really with Just for Fun. The one thing that keeps it so just everybody talking easy is whenever you can all just kind of be yourselves, and it's not real stuffy. And it's not like real corporate, but we're still getting the word out to a lot of people, and that's what it's really all about. But yeah, I like the fact that we can all just kind of chill and be ourselves. But I was thinking, whenever Christina got here, I'm like, Lord, here we go again. Another guest coming through the upstairs door. I'm thinking, oh my God. And this happens every week with us because almost, I mean, I don't know, we're just normal people.
It's home.
Well,
you
I
know?
just didn't know what to expect, so I was like, "Oh, whatever."
I know, and you look so beautiful. She's got the nice, I mean, she looks nice. Her
Well, I
heels,
came in
her
a
dress.
Jeep, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
know.
she gets out.
something.
And they were there, and we were all peeping out the window. I'm like, "Oh my God, her Jeep is so cool!"
So wait a
So
minute,
everybody runs
They
to the
can see
window.
us eat.
Yeah, they could see us.
He's like eating good.
The camera's
Yeah,
still
look.
on. So.
That's hilarious.
You can be
We're
heard
go- We're
too.
going live
Fresh
now. Oh, here, yeah.
Like, wait. What are you doing? I'm hungry. So he's sitting there, oh, eating good.
Look, you can see up there on the monitor.
This is what they're saying.
Oh, wow.
So that's what everybody.
Well, they can't see
watching.
me.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can.
She's just over there throwing signs.
I know. What side?
Right.
I'm from Los Angeles, so I can do it.
Oh, really? I didn't know you were from. Okay.
All right, everybody, we are back. We took a little bit of a longer break there because, well, we're ladies and we needed it. So, but we are back. We've been having some good chat. If you've been listening and watching YouTube, then you know what's going on. If not, go tune into our Just for Fun Radio YouTube channel. You can watch and listen even whenever on break. You get to see exactly what we're talking about and doing. So that's your little footnote of the day, of the night. That's all you get.
That's all you get. Well, you know, while we were on break, Christina and I were having an incredible conversation, and I want to bring us back to some of the things that we touched on because, you know, as I mentioned, I ended up having to leave my employer at the age of 37. And, you know, so at 37, nobody plans on going out on long-term disability. And Christina was telling me because, you know, when you go out on long-term disability, a lot of things change in your life. Like, for example, life insurance. And if you've gone out under disability and the only life insurance that you had was tied to your employer, guess what you don't have anymore? Life insurance. So it's like you are sick, but you better not die because nobody can bury you. I mean, it's morbid to think about it like that, but it is. That, you know, that's the reality. So, Christina, tell us a little bit about some of the information that you shared with me while we were on break.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first things first with the disability coverage that you get through work, what's some companies offer is they cover, it for free for you. So sometimes you could qualify for it and they automatically give it to you. Now, what people don't realize is that if your company pays for it, then it'll be taxable. when you get it as income, as regular income. So, for example, you mentioned that your company covered 66 and 2/3% of your salary. Sometimes, if they paid for all that coverage, that was taxable to you as ordinary income.
Mhm.
Now, that's one thing. The second thing is that you can actually go out and shop and buy supplemental coverage above and beyond your company's disability coverage. What's interesting about that is obviously the IRS and the government says, if we cover, you can't get up to 100% of your income because obviously there's be no reason to go back to work. But you can, depending on your income, your job, you can qualify up to a certain amount, maybe supplementing 70 to almost 80% of your income through supplemental disability coverage. So that's a disability piece about it.
And how do you shop for this supplemental disability coverage? Who do you contact?
So what I do for my clients, because we're a comprehensive planning company, I've got pretty much access to all the insurance companies that are out there. So, either one, you can come to me and go visit our website at oxygenfinancial.net, or you can talk to your local insurance agent. If they're a broker, it's even better because they don't have any bias as far as what type of coverage they're going to offer you or which insurance company to offer you. So that's definitely shop it out through an insurance agent.
Okay, good deal. Very good to know. That's one of those moves that even if you're with an employer, you need to get supplemental insurance, supplemental disability, and supplemental life because, again, it happened to me at 37. I didn't plan on that.
I had a coworker that worked with me who went out. It was some sort of back surgery or something like that, but she was out a lot longer than she intended. And I may be wrong about this, but I want to say that whenever she came back, she was like, "You need to look at Aflac." And I mean, the only thing I know about Aflac's the duck commercial, but and I thought that it was just like regular insurance or something like car insurance or whatever. And shame on me because I've never looked into it any further than that. But she said that is what's seen her through. So I'm assuming that's what she had, was something of that nature.
Yeah. So Aflac, they also provide kind of those ancillary coverages. So if you go to the hospital and it costs you $300 for a visit, Aflac, if you have that type of policy, will reimburse you for that. A true supplemental disability policy will pay you a percentage of your income for a period of time up until you retire or, however long you have that policy for. So if you buy the benefit and let's say it pays you $1,000 a month, you'll get that $1,000 a month completely tax-free all the way until your benefit expires.
And that's in addition to whatever Social Security pays you.
So your supplemental coverage would be in addition to what your company would give you if you have company coverage, and even if you qualify for Social Security disability. Unfortunately, the statistics for Social Security disability, for them to pay that out, is about an 18 to 24 month wait. And sometimes you may not qualify for Social Security disability because the definition, how Social Security looks at it, is you've got to be totally disabled, meaning if you can still flip a burger at Turner Field and still work and gain income, you might not be disabled and you may not qualify for Social Security disability.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of Social Security disability, and you said that it was like an 18 to 24 month wait period. Just for case in point, my brother, who is not totally disabled, medically, yes, because he has things that are against him. Mm-hmm. However, he would have to have someone drive him. He could, if he wanted to, be able to, like you say, flip a burger at Turner Field. Mm-hmm. But he does have a lot of medical issues. And this is what kind of confused my parents when he was younger, is when they went their separate ways, mm-hmm. my mother moved to Florida. Mm-hmm. She applied for my brother in Florida, got it almost instantly. Mm-hmm. But when they were living in Georgia, they were denied.
Yeah.
And that was just very, very frustrating.
Yeah. And insurances are all based on the state that you live in. So some states like California or Florida, they might be a little bit more lenient on the approvals of those benefits. Mm-hmm. But and then also as a younger person, like, depending on the issues that he was dealing with,
Mhm.
he may have qualified much sooner.
Right.
So
And they
that-
actually told him, even when he was like, I don't remember the exact age, but he was like 23 or 24 when he finally got it.
Mhm.
One of the representatives said, why didn't you get this before now? Because you have been disabled since birth.
Mm.
Why couldn't you have gotten it when you turned 18? And my parents, they always provided for him, never asked for help. And they were like, we didn't know that he could get it.
Yeah, and it's sad sometimes because for, like I said, the average is an 18 to 24 month wait.
Right.
By then most folks have, if you haven't had any savings or the proper coverage, you've depleted your assets by then.
Right. Right. Wow. So let's talk for a moment. I know Crystal is updating all of it. She's keeping our Facebook people updated on what we're doing.
I have posted a ladies talk for everybody who's listening. And for those who don't get the chance to, they can go and visit your website at Oxygen Financial and hopefully ask some questions. And of course, I'll be sharing more of Dee's information as well. But that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm paying attention though.
I know.
I'm multitasking. I
Well,
promise.
I'm watching all the notifications come up. I'm like, go Crystal, because I could not keep up with all of this by myself.
Well, and I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number out there again, 678-760-1556. Don't be shy. Feel free to call in. I mean, not often do we have this type of just access to ask ladies like this to whom you may feel comfortable with asking about credit. Or, I mean, you may be going through something and you're just not sure where to start or what kind of questions to ask or if it's even possible for you. So feel free to call in and ask those questions now. I know we got a lot of people listening, but this isn't like our sex therapist show. Y'all don't have to be shy. I don't know though. Dee's raising her hand, so maybe.
Questions, but it's okay.
Marla.
Wrong show.
Marla.
Yeah,
was
Marla.
going to answer those questions for you. But hey, we're just give it a shot. We'll try.
Yeah, everybody loved that show, but nobody wanted to call in, and because they were like, I didn't want you to hear my voice, but I wanted to ask this. I'm like, well, I'm not the sex expert. You should have asked Marla that one.
Right.
So, but this is really good because I think a lot of times, finances, again, like I said in the beginning, it's one of those things that really, really cripples women. I was talking to a friend on Facebook, probably about 3 weeks ago, and she's in an abusive relationship and she's staying because of the car. Because the car is, they bought this car together and she's afraid that if she leaves, he's not going to pay the car note, but he's not going to let her take the car. And I was like, just leave and I can connect you with somebody who will get you another car. And she's like, but I'm scared. I don't want my credit messed up. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, what do you want us to put on your tombstone? I was like, because he's going to kill you. So I just need to know, what you want on your tombstone and who's going to take care of your child, because it won't be me.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I mean, it's that, and I know that sounds really harsh for me to say that, but that's kind of where it is with
The
her.
reality.
Yeah, because it's like we go through this with this particular friend. It's every 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
All of us are getting this group text message of, oh my gosh, he's at it again. And she doesn't want to call the police because the abuser is a member of the police department.
Those are normally the ones.
Yeah.
Which is really, really
Which
sad.
is really, really sad.
Because they know they can get
protect
away
each
with
other,
it.
And they
Yeah.
protect each
Right.
other.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
but she's staying in this relationship and, I'm just, I every time I see her post in the morning, I let out a little, okay,
No, she's alive.
I know she's alive. And, if she doesn't post for a couple of days, I'm like, okay, is everything okay? It's one of those.
Have her call us. Well, have her call me. You have my personal number. I mean, sometimes I know with you being a friend, sometimes they need to hear it from someone else. Have her
Yeah.
call me. That's all you can do. Say, hey, this lady is willing to help you. She'll do whatever she can do to help you. And that's all you can do at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would also say, around credit, and I say this to clients as well, is that credit only matters, I think, if you're really going to go out and purchase something big. So if you're going to purchase a car, or you're ready to purchase a mortgage or a house, that's when your credit matters. But in the meantime, doing things to keep it maintained or fix it, those are some things that you want to consider and start to plan for, especially depending on the time frame you want to make that big purchase.
Yes.
Well, I remember, and I have filed bankruptcy before, but it was like 12 years ago. And I was able to rebuild my credit. Now, I don't know that you can do this now, but back then I was able to go online. I paid, I think it was like $150, and I filed bankruptcy online. And I printed out all the forms. I scanned in all of my debt to them. And at the time, I thought that it was a lot of debt because it was about $8,000. To me, that was a lot of debt. And I had just came out of a really bad relationship, and I was 20 years old. And I knew if I did it right then, give myself 7 years and I would be back on my feet again. And I had just remarried, and we were his credit was good enough to get us through anyway. So I thought, good as ever. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is I had a Kohl's card at the time that I did not file on. And I don't know if you can still do it this way. So hopefully I'm not giving bad information. But I filed bankruptcy on everything else except for that Kohl's card, and I kept it in good standing, and I just kept paying that Kohl's card because I didn't want to give it up. I liked that. I liked having my Kohl's card, and I filed on all those Capital One cards and all of that stuff that I had booked my ex's plane flights on. So anyway, that's kind of irrelevant, but I'm just saying I used that Kohl's card though to just kind of rebuild my credit because I kept it in good standing. And although it had a very, very small balance on it, I just kept paying on it. And then because I had that card, I was really, really surprised. Like other cards were reaching out to me and giving me a $300 credit limit. And I did take them, and I managed those very well for about 10 years. In fact, I never really had any more problems with them. And I would just use them for like gas or whatever. And then whenever I would get paid, I would automatically pay those cards off. And I would keep like a $50 balance on them, but I would still have like a $500 credit limit. And I at one time, and I also went, before my bankruptcy hit, I went ahead and got me a new Suburban at the time because I was like, look, I've already filed bankruptcy. I went to the nearest car lot. I got me a new Suburban at the time. I was like, please don't let this bankruptcy show up. And it didn't. Although I'd already filed it, it just takes a little bit for it to show up. And so I saw my Kohl's card in good standing, and I got that Suburban, and I was in like Flynn. The next thing you know, my credit was outstanding. My credit was really good until of course the foreclosure of the home, but that is what it is. But there's so much that was going on with foreclosures 5 years ago, and that took a while to hit my credit. Heck, after that, I went and got my Genesis before that hit. So it's all about timing sometimes, just when you think you're down.
And some of it too is credit myths, as you like to say, because so many people think that you have to have large lines of credit in order for credit to matter. That is not true. How banks or finance companies or mortgage companies, they're going to look at how you manage and maintain the credit you do have. They're going to look at, okay, if you have a $200 credit limit, do you run it to $199? Do you run it to $202? They're going, because the best thing for any consumer is not to extend more than 30% of your high credit amount. So that just means if you have a high credit of $1,000, don't go over $300. If you have a high credit of $500, don't go over $150. And that's going to help too, as far as rebuilding your score, as far as being able to go out and purchase a car. We had a gentleman come in our dealership yesterday. He only had 2 lines of credits, and both of them were a high credit of $500. His credit score was a 678.
Wow.
And so when you think of that, okay, he only has 2 credit lines, and with 2 credit lines, he has a 678. But it's because he keeps his little $500 card, and I think one balance was $12, and one might have been $100 and some. So, but he had them for maybe 2 years, 3 years, and he just maintained them on time. So the bank gave him a decent rate because not only with that, he had the stability of his job time. So all that plays into factor.
But what's really crazy is when they have no credit is just as bad. We got a caller, so I'm going to go ahead and take this call. Thank you for calling. You're live on Ladies Talk Just for Fun Radio.
Oh, hi, everybody. This is Apostle Shannon McKee from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi.
Hey,
How
Shannon.
are you?
I'm great. I would like to thank you all, and I would like to say something, and after thank you again. Seriously, thank you. After I was married for about 8 years, and when it came to credit, it was horrible. And I did the best that I could, and when we got divorced, everything was just horrible. Yet, the last 2 years before we got a divorce, technically, legally, with the paperwork and all that stuff, I started to learn the stock market, and I went to a dealership, and believe it or not, it was Aflac. My insurance company, the lady Aflac, she spoke to me and pointed me to a dealership because I needed a car. And I just wanted to say thank you to you all, because you all are speaking the truth. And these situations do happen. And it's really embarrassing to admit it. And at that time in my life, it was really embarrassing for me to admit that. And now everything is good to go. And it's because of people with the courage to speak and the heart to speak to other people. You guys are here today. And seriously, thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much for what it is that you all are doing.
Thank you
And
for
that's all
calling
I
in
got.
and just and letting other people know that people like yourself have gone through this as well, and it's worked out for you. So what you said you did basically is you stepped out on a limb and you went to a car dealership similar to what it sounds like Dee's offering people here, and they were able to help you start over and rebuild. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. At times, when the woman does not speak, it may be an abusive relationship, and transportation is very important. It's extremely important, and I know it may be funny at times, but it's not when you have to get everything done as a woman at the end of the day. And so when it comes to having the transportation and working on the finances and building and rebuilding after having one establishment and moving to another as a woman, thank you all. I just want to say thank you.
You know, whenever the doc took me to meet to meet Dee, one of the things she said was that we need Dee because she's gonna be a comfort zone for women.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that you spoke on that particular issue is really, really good, right, Doc?
Yes. Well, and Shannon, thank you so much for calling in, because I've gotten like 3 texts tonight that, women are like, I'm really liking this. Thank you so much. I was afraid, I was afraid of reaching out to someone to help. And one woman, she even, Christina, she's probably going to contact you in the next week or 2, but she left her company and she didn't know what to do with her 401k. And she actually said that she had the paperwork to file for her distribution today, and now she's not. So.
No, thank you. Absolutely. Feel free to contact me directly on our website. And
Yeah, I mean, this show this is why we do what we do, because, I know that women need this information, and I'm all about female empowerment. Scotty tells me that, he teases me all the time that I hate men. I'm not a male hater. I'm just a woman empowerer.
But the truth is, guys stick together.
Yeah.
They stick together in their game, in their profession, in the work field. They always have. I mean, it's in their nature, and women have to do that too. I mean, we're living in a very tough world. Everybody is. But whenever it comes to finances and the workforce and abusive relationships, and there's just so many things all of us have in common that that we can empower each other from. Because you may be a little bit stronger at something than I am, and I may be able to help you through something that, I've been through, but you haven't. And this is a very important but very small fraction of a way that we can help empower each other. And credit and having the confidence to go out there and do something on your own and start over is really, really hard to do. And that's where it takes a lot of each other's support, and it takes a lot. Sometimes you got to hear what you don't want to hear, some
Mhm.
sort of tough love or something like that. And we'll talk a little bit about that also, because sometimes that comes along with rebuilding yourself.
Definitely.
So
Our whole purpose is, if I have to tell you no today, I'm gonna figure out a way to show you how we can get to yes.
and I love you
that's
for
just-
that.
I love you for
that's
that.
the only thing. I'm like, I'm gonna give it to you straight with no chaser. That's
Mhm.
just who I am. I'm honest about it. So if you don't want to hear the truth, I hate to say it, don't call me.
And the first time we sat down with you, you kind of said those words, and I was like, "Yes, I like
I
this
am.
girl."
I'm gonna tell you the truth. But just because this is where you're at today, people don't understand. You don't have to stay stuck in that place. You really, really don't. There's just so many things that you can do. Financial service industry, as she will tell you, is amazing. I mean, we have people now. I had a lady that came into the dealership, and so now people who don't have down payments, guess what? I'm having a down payment assistance program. So we're gonna make a way.
Yes.
If there's a way, we're gonna make that way, and we're gonna find it, from the insurance agents to whoever. When I tell you I am dedicated 100%, well 200%, I don't have a life. When it comes to this, this is my
This is
life.
your
And you
life,
can
yeah.
find Dee at EAG
Well, exclusive
Automotive Group.
automotive group,
And that's in Conyers.
yeah, 1998 Irish Drive Southwest.
So any of you locals, that right there is what you can do, is you can reach out to Dee, and obviously she is here to help. And if you got any questions about your financial issues or anything to do with your retirement, please reach out to Christina. And Shannon, are you still there? We might have
We
lost
might have
her.
lost Shannon.
She might have had to go. But anyway, Shannon, if you're still listening, thank you so much for calling in. As you can see, we're really excited about this topic, and your call really meant a lot to us. So,
And one of the text messages that I got was on financial planning. She is a single mom with an older disabled child. And, she was like, I never really thought about what happens to my child after, if something happens to me. So, I sent her a text back and I was like, just call Christina. She'll figure it out.
Yeah, I actually, what's interesting is I've got a client in Ohio. I work all over the country, but I've got a client in Ohio who has been raising her son, who's a single mother. He's 25 now, but he's been disabled, all of his life. And one of the things that's, I'm going to answer a little bit of that question now is making sure you have some form of life insurance in place. That would be above and beyond what he gets already, or what your kid gets already from the disability insurance. If they're receiving some form of disability, Social Security, making sure you've got life insurance to provide for him after, if something does happen to you. The other caveat to that is you want to make sure he still qualifies for his Social Security. And so sometimes this is going to get a little bit complicated, but you might want to make sure he has a special needs trust in place to shelter that life insurance money so that your kid still qualifies for all of the full government benefits.
Okay.
So there's ways to still get full government benefits, but be able to provide for your kids if something does happen to you.
Okay. I appreciate that.
wow.
Thank you.
And we have several people that we know that would really, really like to hear some of that
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
So before we go this evening, I want to make sure I get your last name right and everything. And I'll reshare that link for some people so that they'll know who to ask for. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm not trying to cut off, but we got to go take a break. So we will be right back. Everybody stay tuned. You're listening to Ladies Talk on Just for Fun Radio, and we will be right back.
Toot toot. All right. So, Christina, are we good with time, or do you need to go to the
I'm
airport?
good until 9.
Okay. Do you need to leave at 9, or you need to be out of here to be at the airport by 9?
I don't know how long does it take to get to the airport.
It's about 35, 40 minutes. Oh, I love you.
That's
Well, don't forget about all the traffic.
My
Oh, that's
my
right.
the traffic
fiance's flight gets in at I think 10. So what time do I need to leave here to get there by 10?
You need to leave here no later than
At least by 9:15.
9:15.
At
Okay.
least.
Let me see. Yeah.
Where's he flying in from, if you don't mind me asking?
She.
Oh, she.
yeah,
Okay, where's she
she's,
flying in?
She actually lives in Miami.
Oh, cool.
So she's in Miami. She's a teacher. So
Oh,
and then she's in for the Labor Day weekend.
oh, very cool.
That's sweet. Yeah.
That's at some point.
I know you're excited. I bet you're like, can this show hurry up and get over? I'm ready to go. Pick my lady up, ready to go home.
Well, she's still on the plane, so I'm all right.
That's awesome, though. Miami. I'd love to visit Miami sometime.
We need to do that.
I've never
It's
been
such a
that
fun-
far
you know,
south.
it's really inexpensive to get down there. It's like $150
$100
or
round
something
trip.
like that round
Yep.
trip.
Yep.
If you buy ahead of time, it's super cheap.
Flight's not bad either.
Yeah, and
No,
then,
it's-
they've gotten
Doesn't take long at all. Yeah.
the Airbnb websites now where you can get like people are just renting out their houses and
Yes.
rooms, but they're really expensive. They're cheaper than hotel rooms now. But Miami.
That's crazy when it's cheaper to fly than it is to stay somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, and you can have them. I'll give you my card.
yeah, please do.
Yes,
and that
please
way
do.
I can make sure I get everything right and that they'll know who they're getting in touch with, who they need to talk to.
They
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
give you guys my card too.
There you go.
You can
Thank
put
you
my
so
direct
much.
email on there.
Do you mind? Okay, I sure will. I sure will. I did put the link to the actual website, but
It's Grebenaria,
okay.
in case you guys.
You drove down
just
from
like it's
Alpharetta
spelled. I
today?
never would have pronounced it that way.
No, we've got an office in Buckhead.
Okay.
We've got an office in Buckhead, and then of course I live in Midtown. So I was
Okay.
coming from Midtown.
Because I was like, I knew that because I think my I can't remember. She told me she's like, oh, she's up there by perimeter. I'm like, oh my God, she's never gonna make it here.
Marla,
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know why I was calling her Marlene for some reason.
Yeah. I was
But
like,
I've known Marla for a few years now.
I was like, she's never gonna make it here if she's up by perimeter.
You talking about our Marla that come here that night?
Not our Marla. It's a different
it's
Marla.
a different Marla.
Yeah.
Okay, so not the sex therapist Marla. I was like,
sex
yeah.
therapist Marla.
Oh, sex
Oh, it
you
is
know
the
her
same
too?
Marla.
Yeah, she and I've been friends for like a few years now.
Oh, she
Okay.
was so much fun. She
Yes.
came in and ironically enough, she was getting ready to fly. Well, she was flying out.
Mm.
She wasn't flying. She wasn't.
And you know, Marla had a podcast on my network for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I know I would see it up on Facebook.
So you should have hosted your podcast with me.
I know.
You would have still been up and running.
I know.
So you did podcast?
Well, I didn't personally, but our company did,
Okay.
and it was, I forget what it was called. It was a few years back, and we didn't promote it as
It
much.
takes a lot. I mean, I can tell you just by watching this grow. And I mean, I know it's different because it's internet radio. The good thing about this is that the internet broadcasting and radio is the way to go now. I mean, if you think about it, the only thing we're waiting on, or Scotty's waiting on, or we're praying for him, is sometime to be picked up by like satellite radio.
Yeah.
If that ever happens, but what we got to do is what we're doing now and just keep getting the numbers up and getting, you know, have proof that it's working.
Yeah.
And it is working. Every year he just keeps growing and growing and growing.
No,
So
I mean, I appreciate you guys having me. You know, I'm like I was saying, I'm all about empowerment and, you know, what you were saying earlier is just educating folks and because
you'd
people
be
just don't know.
surprised. Mm-mm. And sometimes it just helps for people to hear from people like ourselves, people like themselves, you know, and just normal people to where they're not walking up into some big fancy dealership to where they're feeling like they're going to be ridiculed in front of everybody because it's, you know, I've been there and I know that.
It's a bad feeling. You know, they go over to the desk and they're laughing at you.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And they come back, or they hit you with some astronomical down payment.
I was just going to say that the first
Yeah.
thing they want to know is how much money you got to
Yeah.
put down.
I
You
wanted
know?
a Hummer one year when, you know, back in the day when Hummers out, and I wanted the big one.
Yeah.
And he said, well, yeah, all right, we can do it, $10,000 down. Then you got to know too, dealerships are full of bullshit on you because
Mhm.
Yeah.
they can get you to put 10,000 down. I said, okay, 10,000. Really, I can ride today. So if I give it to you today, I can ride today. I'm gassing him up because I knew good and well. I was like, I'm gonna put 10,000 down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what I was thinking, but you
It's
know,
funny you
I'm
said
like,
that
are you
because I told
serious?
you we went to the Jeep dealership. Now we're going to trade my car in, which I know that my car, I owe $10,000 on my car. So I basically owe what it's worth. And I understand that part of it. But we also had 2 Harleys
Right.
that we were saying that we're going to sell. I mean, a Road King and a Softail. And the 2 of them are valued $17,000, $18,000 together, together. And that guy at first was like, it just didn't none of it make any sense because Scotty said, okay, let's just say I go get $20,000 and I bring you back $20,000 cash and I give you this car, go ahead and trade the car in. What are our payments going to be? And he was like, it was like $500 a month. We were like, okay. So, and then he could tell we wasn't buying that. So then he started talking about trying to take the bikes in his trade. And he was going to take the bikes in his trade, $20,000 and my car. And I mean, if you just had to listen to how the math was coming out, me and Scotty just kind of looked at each other. He walked off. We was like, you know what? We were just wanting to see really what he was going to say and see how stupid he really thought we were. Man, he really thought we were
Let's
that
get
stupid.
through this, because we're in transition period, and I've been so slammed since I walked back in the door. I mean,
That's good though.
Yeah, it is, but
Busy is good.
we'll go find the Jeep that you want. That's not an
Oh,
issue.
you know what? We feel like it's going to come in time. I mean,
And let me. Oh gosh, my friend in Marietta also owns a dealership, and he just got his wife that gecko green.
yes, that's what we want. Like the real lime green.
Yes, that's what he got. Okay,
Yes.
let me find it
We
for you.
want
Let me show you a picture of
The
it.
4-door. We looked at the Sahara. That's the Unlimited, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Mine's the Sport. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, we looked at the Sport because really the only difference with the Sport was the wheels and stuff.
Mhm.
We found the wheels and the tires for like $800. Scotty did. Scotty has done all the research.
Well, I like the soft top on it too.
Because then if you're
No,
anywhere,
can't
you can
tell
put the
who's
top back
on
on.
the-
Because if you take the hard top off of it and leave the hard top at home,
right, you
that
can't tell.
starts to
It's
rain.
heavy and like
Yeah.
you always gotta
Yeah, you
have
can't
somebody else with
tell
you
help
to
you
because
get
there's
it
other
off.
ways.
Yeah.
They down.
I
Well,
love
we-
my Jeep.
We went and we test drove it just to see, because a long time ago I had a Jeep, one of those old Jeeps, and it was rough, but it was fun.
They
Like,
drive really nice.
They
now.
are really nice.
like the 4-door ones are
Mhm.
really nice.
What? It's not that much of a difference to driving my car. Of course, my car is a little tight, little sports car, but it's very comfortable. So I'm like, yeah, and they have the navigation systems and everything in them now. Years ago they didn't have air. They didn't have none of that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So we are, we're serious about it though. We're just kind of waiting. We're waiting it out though, because we feel like the right one will come along.
Anise, did you
What
ever
else
make
do you
it down
guys-
to the
What else?
museum in Madison?
We haven't been down to Madison yet.
I got some
Maybe
Really?
tax ideas.
tax ideas.
Ways to save money in taxes.
I need to save money in taxes,
You would,
Okay.
especially if it's something
Yeah.
that can
You
benefit
coming
most
with us?
anybody.
Oh. you'd love it. And listening to her talk about Buckhead. Have you been to the real Buckhead
What's the real bucket?
What's the real Buckhead?
in Morgan County, out where Madison is? That's the one with the zip code. The one in Buckhead, Atlanta. If you look at the zip code, it says Atlanta, Georgia. It's not Buckhead.
Oh,
And
Field trip?
Yeah, I love
They actually tried to get a petition signed like 4 years ago for the city, the corporated city in Morgan County, to give up the rights to Buckhead.
Oh wow.
And they
No
told
way.
the people from Atlanta, bye.
Wow.
Mhm.
Crazy. Where is it? Where?
If you go I-20 east, like you're going to Augusta,
Yep.
and you pass Madison, the 441 exit, the next exit.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
hmm
and Christina, you've got to take your fiance down to the Social House in Porterdale.
Where is
This
that?
sounds.
It's an incredible restaurant
Oh,
in
yeah.
Porterdale.
Is
Georgia.
That white is that
The
white
white-
cheddar?
It's
Is
that
it good?
In
What is
Porterdale.
that
You shop
cheese?
in Midtown.
I
so-
know.
I like the both though.
Outside the perimeter.
Yeah, Porterdale is 2
It was
exits
a little
below
different.
here.
Yeah, it's different.
It
I
has
still
something
like
in
it.
it.
It's
Mushrooms.
like all
Was it mushrooms?
Yeah.
It's like
Coffee?
tacos.
Okay.
Road
It's really
very
good.
there. And then you've got to take her to Gravity Craft Home Brew. They have an incredible wine there. And oh my God, they've got all of the beers on tap. It's so much better than downtown Decatur.
Wow.
Gravity Craft Home Brew and the Social House.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are live. This is Ladies Talk on Just for Fun Radio.
Yeah, you probably heard me shouting out two of the places. Because Christina's fiance is coming in town this weekend. I was like, oh my God, you got to go to the Porter House, the social house in Porter.
Girl, it's the up.
It's the social house.
It's the social house in Porterdale. Now I'm saying it wrong.
I know. And it only takes one person to say it wrong.
This is some amazing cheese. I was trying to ask, what kind was that?
That's
with
the
mushrooms,
truffle.
they said?
Yeah, that's the truffle cheese.
Okay, it's really good. So if y'all hear me smacking in the mic, I'm trying my best not to. I'm going to finish this piece of cheese. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We have truffle
I did the
cheese.
same thing.
We have white cheddar cheese. We had the
Wine.
milk. Yeah, we had. She's like, we got wine.
The wine.
Wine.
The wine.
Wine.
Dark chocolate cookies that are addicting. I've had
Oh,
like
yeah.
6 of them.
Well, you're the only
Yeah, but
show.
Christina, you still had wine.
Right. We're the only show on Just for Fun Radio that partakes in wine during our show. All of our other people, they're very professional. Or they try- I wouldn't say
we're
professional.
professional.
Laid
We're just
back.
more relaxed.
We're just more relaxed. We're professional.
Okay, you,
ladies.
you guys have seen the bar at our dealership, so
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. Can we have
We
a
just
bar
wanted
like
to hang out in
that?
there. We're like, let's just have a party. I
And
mean,
look, and they have name brand liquor.
oh
Can we-
yeah. There's none of this Boone's Farm stuff like we're drinking on. I'm just kidding. We are not drinking Boone's Farm.
We are drinking beer from we're drinking beer. We're drinking wine from
Gravity.
Gravity. Thank you.
but
We
yeah.
were. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look, we're already on our fourth bottle of wine tonight.
We had
I'm still
Rico.
on the Sutter Homes one though.
Yeah. Yep. But they no, at Dee's bar, no. She had like Patron and I mean she really
She had
Don
Ciroc.
Julio, Ciroc,
Yeah. Oh my
Hennessy.
gosh.
Yeah.
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 We've got beer and wine and whiskey in our office. So
Yeah.
You have some people work for y'all. Are you hiring? Are you
Are
hiring?
you
have to.
hiring? Because my current employer, Just for Fun Radio, doesn't have. Our bar is a little lacking. So
That's because we drink it as fast as we buy it.
I tell you, in financial services, sometimes you need a drink, don't you, Christina?
Oh, man, I need my company to get with that groove.
look, you can get a 2-for-1. Crystal and I will both join you. 2 for the price of 1. 2 for 1.
Absolutely.
2 for 1.
No doubt. I like the
We're
benefits.
doing financial planning doing that.
Yeah, but we need
Discounts for you.
one of our requirements is we must have a 2014 BMW i8 as part of our company perk because
Oh,
we have to be
no.
able to get to work.
I have to read this text, y'all. I just have to because this is from the DJ, and he should not have sent it to me if he didn't want me to read it. But he said that, Scotty, are you sure you want me to read this?
Oh,
He
he
says
just
we are smoking pot on.
wait. He just
on the
fired
morning
me
show
via
tomorrow.
text.
You're fired. And I know good and
Wow.
well that this is not true because Scotty has never smoked anything really in all of his life, and this is the text I get.
But he
So
fired
he's
me.
gonna have to come down here and clarify this right here because I just put your stuff on blast.
He fired me via text.
You're fired. You cannot fire the dog.
You can't fire me via text.
She's family.
Yeah, you can't fire
You just bought her
family.
shirts too.
Yeah,
She's got uniforms and everything. And, it took us a long time to get uniforms just to today. Like my we've been trying hard to get these uniforms. Don't fire her yet.
That's tax
don't fire her
deductible.
yet.
Is it tax deductible? Let me tell you, Christina brought up something that I'm kind of excited to hear about because every year, whenever I file my taxes, just like I said, I went online and I filed my own bankruptcy. Yeah, I file my own taxes too because I'm that person. But I go through the whole H&R block where they walk me step for step. And I have gone before and let other people do it, but they don't get me any more discounts than I get myself. So what can I do possibly to save myself or get a larger refund? Because we all want something bigger,
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to first start with just if you've got a regular W-2 job and you itemize your taxes on Schedule A. So when you look at it, you've got your ad valorem tax for those who are still paying that ad valorem for your car. So you can actually deduct that on your taxes. The second thing is you've got your property and income taxes, which, that's automatic. And then the third thing is your charitable contributions. Now, everybody knows you can give cash to anywhere and you'll still get a deduction for that. But there's a line item on that Schedule A that says non-cash charitable contributions.
We do a lot of that here.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot.
a lot of non-cash. That's great because the IRS technically says, and this is in regulation, and you can go look it up, that each receipt that you get, whether it's Salvation Army, Goodwill, or whomever it may be, could technically be worth $500 per receipt. And the reason being is that under $500, you do not have to itemize that bag. So let's just say, for example, you've got 6 receipts and they total out to $3,000. If you're in a 25% tax bracket, and let's say you live in Georgia and you've got 6% state tax, that's about 30%, 31%. With a $3,000 charitable contribution, almost 30% of that, you'd save about $1,000 in taxes.
Wow. Wow. And I have enough stuff to go to the Goodwill like once or twice a week, and it would not hurt me at all.
Well, and you
honestly,
and obviously you got to be reasonable, right?
Yeah.
So don't come out with like 50 receipts or
right.
anything.
Well, damn.
And then,
Okay, people, don't listen to me.
but and then the rule is anything above 500, of course, you want to itemize. So if you're going to give away $1,000 couch, yeah, write it down. And but if anything under that 500, because I know folks give away like bags of stuff that you don't really know what's in there, start to kind of itemize or be reasonable with your charitable giving. And then the other thing is that if you are also just a regular W-2 employee, you can technically deduct any of your unreimbursed employee expenses. So if you go out to eat for work and they don't reimburse you, if you've got to drive to offices and they don't reimburse you, all of that is deductible. The only issue is that you've got to meet a 2% threshold, meaning that if you've got to go above and beyond 2% of your adjusted gross income to be able to deduct any of those expenses. So for example, if you make $50,000 adjusted gross income, 2% of that is $1,000, and you've got $2,000 of unreimbursed employee expenses. That means you can only deduct $1,000. Okay, so it has to be above and beyond that 2% dollar amount.
Okay.
Wow. So are you available? I mean, like whenever it comes time for Scotty to file his taxes, and I'm going to be, being realistic, because this will be the first year that Scotty has actually made any money off of Just for Fun Radio.
Absolutely.
And so he knows he's going to have to 1099, and he's got all of this stuff that he's going to really have to, because the previous years before this, it has been just him investing. The past year he has had actually, because before that he was trading work for sponsorships. Hey, you work on my car, I'll sponsor, I'll advertise for you. But now he literally has all year had some cash coming in from sponsors, and he's excited about that, but at the same time he's nervous about it. He's getting ready to go incorporated. He's getting ready. So if and that's another question I would like to ask you, like he's wanting to go incorporated, is that something that you could give him some advice on?
Yeah, so kind of disclosure, I always recommend talking to an accountant or an attorney, a business attorney, but what I do is I do tax planning. The accountants and the attorney will set up the business and prepare your taxes for you, but I can do tax forward planning. The other thing I was going to get to is like for business owners, how to reduce your taxes. So the IRS has this rule that's called like the hobby rule. And what they say is that 3 out of 5 years that you've had your business open, whether you're incorporated or you're a Schedule C sole proprietor, says you can show a loss for 3 out of 5 of those years. Now, if he's been claiming losses, that's fine, as long as he's showing a profit, after that 3rd year. But with all of your business deductions, so let's just say you're a sole proprietor or an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, you can technically deduct pretty much almost anything through your business. So for example, the shirts that you guys just got, the cell phone expenses that are for business, internet equipment, all of that is tax deductible to you because it's for your business and you're legitimately trying to generate income through that business.
Wow.
Now, let's say you did have a profit. So let's say you did bring in, $20,000 of sponsorships or a form of income, but you also had $10,000 of expenses. Instead of being taxed on all $20,000 of income, you can now, with all of your business deductions, you're only taxed on $10,000.
Sweet.
That's sweet.
That is
Yeah.
so good to know, because we are completely, we are basically illiterate to all of that. Because I've always worked for a big company and that kind of stuff. And Scotty has literally put every penny he's made back into business and has lost money for the past 3 years. So it's funny that you say that, because the only thing he's done is just invest in the business, and everything that's came back, he's just put, all of this equipment, everything you see, that's kind of why we do it out of our home. He made this his studio, because once you get outside, there comes more fees, but he's wanting to grow, and that's going to come also. Yep. So anyway, all that right there, I'm sure he's up there going, yeah, because he just didn't know all that stuff. And I know there's a lot of people out there. We've got landscapers that listen to us. We've got a lot of people that, like the lady who's doing our shirts now. And there's a lot of people out there that are trying to hustle their new business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some great information right there.
Yeah, and that's just the simple form. The more you become profitable, the more profitable you become, there are other tax strategies that you can take into account. Filing S corp or as an LLC. So there are definitely certain strategies to help you reduce your tax liability as a business owner.
Well, I know I've got your number, and I know we'll be calling you. That's for sure. So I appreciate.
And so will we, because my wife is actually a minister. And so we were actually in Oklahoma running a wedding planning business, and she was marrying people. And so we're here in Georgia now. And, so we've got that whole, how do you merge all of this together, and, what can you write off? It's just, so we'll definitely be calling you too.
And I know Zach and I have had this conversation in the past, because he's pretty much independent. He's a hairstylist. I know that he works in a salon, but there they pay their booth rents, and everything else he's responsible for. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the year, he has that challenge like every year. So, and he's young. He's going to have to start looking at, how to benefit himself in the future. So,
well, one area that I want to go in our last 15 minutes of the show.
Man, this show is going by so quick. There was a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but
I want to hit on, as women, we talked about rebuilding financially when you fall down. But part of rebuilding that financial comes with the emotional hit. So how do you get back up emotionally?
I think that's where people in your life come in, and they tell you what you need to hear sometimes, and not always what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know that, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I've got those people in my life that are going to tell me exactly what I want to hear. And then I got those few that I go to when I know that I'm going to hear what I don't want to hear, but I need to hear it. And those are, to me, that's how I support my friends who have been knocked down and need to get back up. And sometimes they may get mad at me and not speak to me for a day or so, but they'll always come back around. So, yeah. And I know Zach has a bunch of people that sit in his chair daily and tell him stuff like that, because I'm one of those people.
Well, when it comes down to a matter of nobody knows really what to do, because of course they don't want to struggle financially. You've already spent years and years and stuff with somebody as far as a relationship goes. But at the end of the day, I look at it as, why do you allow this to happen to yourself? You may struggle getting out of it, but guess what? If you stay in it, you're going to fall even harder. And I'm always that realistic person. I'll tell you like it is. And I never try to hurt anybody's feelings. But at the end of the day, I may be the only one who tells you like it is. And it's a matter of, it sucks and it hurts. I think everybody's kind of been through it. I've been through it myself. But when you finally take that step to leave and you make the decisions for yourself and you push through and you fight and you do what's right for you, you come out such a stronger person. I did this about 4 years ago. I dropped everything, left my partner that I was with for 4 years, and I left with a duffel bag full of clothes, a dog, and a little bit of money in my pocket, and came back to Covington. And it was like, well, what do? I have nowhere to go. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. But I took that first step after putting so many years into this and trying to make it work. One by at the end of the day, it's never going to work, because if they do it one time, it's going to happen again and again and again. No matter if you apologize or try to fix it or anything like that. It's 85. It circles and circles and circles and circles. You know, so.
And everybody hates 85.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, so it was like I had to take that step, and it was like I got back in school. I tried to find work. I did everything I had to do, and I struggled. I went without power for a couple of weeks. I didn't have food all the time. I didn't have the things I wanted. But where I am now, looking back 2-3 years ago, nobody even thinks that's where I could have stood. But you have to make that first movement. You can't be scared, as bad as it is sometimes. You're going to fall down a little, but you're going to get back up. And you're going to make yourself stronger. You're going to look at yourself and say, why did I stay as long as I did? Why didn't I do this sooner? There's people out there that can help you. I mean, we've got a radio station full of people now who can guide you, who can help you to get where you need to get. But it's sometimes just reaching out to that one person who's going to tell you exactly like it is. Don't reach out to your friend who's going to say, it's okay, y'all just need to talk. No, screw that, because it doesn't work that way. You know, you can talk and work everything out, but it's a matter of yourself. Nobody can do anything for you unless you make that first step. And
Right.
that's where it comes at the end of the day. You do it for you. So hopefully everybody listening, if you're going through something tough, drop it and move on. You have to take that first step to get where you want to get. If not, you're never going to get there. You're always going to be in this depressed funk or upset or wondering, what am I going to do today that's different? What is going to benefit me today? Can I be happier tomorrow? That's just not how it works.
Bottom line is you get what you settle for. And I've always
Exactly.
said that to my kids. I've always said that to myself. And we can go day in and day out and hope things are going to be better. But sometimes you have to take that step to make it better. And you can't let some financial freedom or some worry about something like cars or house payments or credit or anything else keep you from just stepping out and doing what's best for you. Because like Zach said, I mean, you may have to tough it out for a little while. It may not, but in the end, whenever you get through that and you're back up on your feet again, it's the
Mhm.
best feeling ever.
It is.
It is the best feeling ever.
Well, we are 9 minutes away from having to wrap up our show.
Well, before we go, I would like Christina one more time to tell everybody how they can find you, and and then we'll do the same thing with Dee, please.
Yep, you can visit www.oxygenfinancial.net. And if you find me on the website on our team page, I'm the only Christina on the website. So email me directly. You can schedule a meeting with me directly. And I'll look forward to chatting with you.
You have been an absolute pleasure to have in the studio. You've been very knowledgeable. You've helped me a lot. So I feel quite confident that you've helped a lot of our listeners a lot. And we really do appreciate you, because I know you had a little bit of drive, and I hope you have a safe trip to the airport
Thank
too.
you.
And enjoy your time with your wife, because I'm sure that's going to be amazing.
Let's get it right. Fiance.
I stand corrected, fiance. And Dee, our latest sponsor, our car lot here in Conyers, Georgia. Thank you so much for being here. Would you like to tell just a little bit more about where they can find you as well?
Yes, our company website is www.exclusive, exclusive, the letter A as in apple, G as in girl.com. My personal company cell phone is 470-338-1088. Feel free to give me a call anytime. Make sure that you mention that you heard it on Just for Fun, because I will make sure that I give you a special little surprise.
I see Zach writing that number down. I see Zach. And y'all, please do make sure that you support everybody that supports us. It's important that we all support each other. And Dee, thank you so much. I would love to have you back, because we had a little bit of an insight of you, just a small personal insight of you whenever we talked to you the 1st time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you have a very interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
And since our
Yes.
story is about empowering women, I would love to have you share that with us sometimes if you don't
course.
mind.
Of
Please
course.
do. Please
Thank
do.
Only
you,
thing
Dean.
I can say to women out there is I have been through the fire. And when I tell you, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I had to stand up and put my big girl panties on and deal with a lot of things in my life. But at the end of the day, when I tell you that it's been an amazing journey, and I know nothing happens where people say things just happen. I say things happen just. I had to go through everything that I went through. God had to work on me to get me to where he wants me to be. And for a long time, I would not share a lot of my past. I was ashamed of it, wouldn't talk about it. But when I tell you, I just asked God, I said, okay, you know what? If I can help someone else or if I can save someone else, just go ahead and just let me release that. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I got a chance to meet you ladies. I look forward to us doing great things. Christina, I'm so thankful to meet you as well. Our company will be in touch with you as well. So I'm just thankful. But I'll tell you more about things. And, like I said, I have a past of a lot of things. My mother was a battered women's shelter mentor for years, so, and then there's other things. So when I tell you, it's like you say, it's not where you start, but where you finish.
That's right.
Definitely. And it was so funny because because I had a list of categories of sponsors that I wanted for the radio for Ladies Talk. And there were actually 3 car dealerships. And so Scotty had me looking at them. And, so I was like, tell me about each one. So the first thing that he said to me about exclusive was, a woman's in charge. I said, that's all I need to know.
Yep, we don't need to hear anything else.
I don't need to hear anything else. Because I knew for a woman to be in charge of a car dealership in a man's world, that's the woman that I wanted to partner with. That's the woman that I wanted to support.
And let me tell you, whenever I heard this, I was expecting to drive up to some rinky-dinky little car dealership. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh boy, we're probably getting ready to come
A trailer.
Yeah, something like that, a little trailer with a few little broke down cars. But no, this is a really, really, really nice dealership. Very nice cars. They range from, did you say 2008 to 2015?
2008 to 2015.
I mean, really, really nice rides. And then she comes pulling up in this really hot white Camaro with the red sports stripes on the hood. I'm just telling you, it's a really nice place, and they made us feel welcome there.
Yes.
So y'all make sure if anybody need a car, where to send them.
And then Dee steps out and she's drop dead gorgeous.
Oh my
and I'm looking at
God.
Crystal. I'm
Her
like,
shoes. I want her shoe. I just
so
want her
Crystal's
shoes.
like, I want her shoes. I'm like, I want her body. I mean, because she's got on these jeans that were just curving every curve. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I could make jeans fit me like that.
But you know what
so
she
crazy.
did? You know what she did? We were like, we're going to have to get pictures. Oh, no, I take terrible pictures. Y'all cannot
Oh,
take
I
pictures
hate
of me.
taking
We're like,
pictures.
but you are stunning. She's like, no.
Right. I'm like, I hate taking pictures.
Isn't
but
it funny how we do that, though? We are our worst critic. Period.
Yes, we are.
We are. We are. I mean, I feel like every person in here is like that. And, but we all see the beauty in each other. And what's really funny is what we see as flaws, someone else sees is completely different and unique. So it's important that we all remember that as ladies. But I am super excited that you ladies were here. I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you.
And thank you, Abby, again for being here. Abby
Oh, you're
is
welcome.
quiet, but her presence is important. And Zach, of course, we love our Zach Glaze, and we're glad he was here, of course. And Doc, do we have anything going on this weekend that we talk about?
I actually don't have anything going on this weekend. This weekend is Pride in the city.
And busy in Atlanta.
And yeah, I'll be busy in Atlanta. It's Dragon Con. I will not be doing Dragon Con.
So you and Benny are not dressing up.
Yeah, we're not going to dress up.
Why
this
not?
year.
You're not going to wear your glasses?
No, I wore those today.
You know what? I hope this does not go out. I hope this does not come out all wrong, but it probably will. But I'm just trying to imagine how you can have the Gay Pride and Dragon Con in the same weekend in Atlanta. I mean, that's going to be very, very interesting traffic, is all I'm going to say about that. Can you imagine? Because the costumes I've seen, I've never been to Dragon Con. I've never been to Gay Pride.
It's wild.
So,
it really is.
I can only imagine. But Scotty, if I heard right, they were talking about trying to go catch the parade Saturday morning for Dragon Con. I'll be at work and I'll miss that, but I did hear them say they was going to try to.
Yeah, they're actually taking Marta up.
It's
I'm
free.
jealous.
Marta's free this weekend.
Oh, it's for oh.
I would love just go riding Marta all day.
Field
I'm going to
trip.
tell you, there's going to be so much going on Marta. I would get off and get back on, get off and get back on just to see everybody.
All the way up until Monday, Marta's free.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
We didn't get that piece of information here in the country.
But there you go.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, city folk, for coming down and sharing that.
That's some good. See what happens when you listen to Ladies Talk.
I know, right?
Yep, yep.
All right. Well, DJ,
Well, I
You
do
gonna-
know that one thing's for certain. Tomorrow at 7:30 a.m., Just for Fun Radio will be live in the studio for their morning show. So y'all be sure to tune in then.
oh yeah, and Benny is actually going to sit in for me tomorrow
The
because
wife.
the wife, yeah, she's known as the wife now. Because I have a doctor's appointment for my eyes because I am not wearing those glasses another day.
And one more thing before I go, I want to make sure I plug this because last night, Erin Hill, she hosts our Electric High show here on Just for Fun Radio. And I had the opportunity to sit in last night with them. And we had such a great time and everything happened so fast that we forgot to plug Michelle Malone. Michelle Malone will be in the studio with Erin. Like it's the third Wednesday of
Mhm.
September. I'm horrible with dates. But look her up. Michelle Malone is a lot like Melissa Etheridge in
She
style.
wrote for the Indigo Girls.
Yes. And I have listened to her music and I've checked out her biography and her pictures, and she's really hot and she's very talented. So I'm excited about we will be in the studio.
Yeah, I will so- I
We're
will
getting autographs
so be
and
there.
pictures that night.
I'll get you
because
an autograph, Christina.
you can just tell this is going to be a really, really good interview. So I wanted to make sure I plugged that for Erin because we thought about it after we went off air. So, and we try to support each other here at Just for Fun. We all have our separate shows, but we're all one. So everybody have a great night. Be sure to visit our Ladies Talk show. I have post links of Christina's information, and I'm going to do the same once again for Dee as well. We appreciate you for tuning into Ladies Talk. We will be back next Thursday, 7 p.m., same place, even more fun. I cannot remember what our topic is next week. So,
And and then next week I will be heading out because I got invited to be a featured speaker at the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference. So I'm super excited about that. So Benny and I will be taking a road trip to New Jersey.
I'm going to miss you, but I'm glad you're going to.
We're going to Periscope all the way up there because I
Well, of
refuse to
course.
fly because it's on September 11th. And so I was like, we'll drive up. I'm not flying.
Ooh. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if we're going to let you travel anywhere on September 11th. We might have to talk about that.
Fly up on the 10th.
You're not flying anywhere.
Well, no, I
on
can't fly
9/11.
on the 10th because then I'll miss Ladies Talk. So I have to be here for Ladies Talk. So we're going to drive. It's good. We're looking forward to the road trip. It's our first road trip together.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I know
driving.
Benny will take care of you, but at least you're not flying.
Yeah, we're not flying. No, we're
Okay.
well, we ain't crazy. We a lot of things, but we ain't crazy.
All right,
now.
everybody. Remember, you get what you settle for. Thank you so much for tuning into Ladies Talk. Everybody say goodbye to the camera.
We love y'all.
Bye. We are out.
All right, what you taking us out on?
I'm taking us out on. You'll see.
Another
Thank
Melissa
you so
Etheridge
much.
song?
he only has
Yeah,
that one.
thank you guys.
I really appreciate you, ladies.
All right, let's do
Coming in here.
pictures real quick because Christina's got to get on the
Here we go
road.
with the picture.
Yeah.
Pictures.
She said,
Zach, is her hair okay?
Oh, well, she
Yeah,
only a
it's this
size
time.
2, so you a
She's a
size
size
2.
two.
Because on the camera, you a 4.
Do you do Periscope?
What's Periscope?
Oh, that's the new thing. It's kinda like
That's what we
Snapchat.
did.
Oh,
that
you're
day when
going
we
out of
talked
town.
about the dealership.
Oh, yeah, you're okay. I'm like,
Yes, this is what it looks
I'm so old school.
It's a new app.
You better.
It's connected
I'll be
to
like
the Vine.
texting you. Periscope, please.
So it's like
Periscope.
the Vine.
Well,
But
I'm
I never
excited that you're not
I'm
going to
so
be
old.
here. I mean, not like that. I mean, that you're going to be there instead of here.
I have a
I'll miss
19-year-old.
you, of course, but
Yes.
No. Well, let me make sure.
I'm like-
Yes, we are.
Well, I don't know. Prime what?
As they say, the 40s.
Don't believe it. My eyesight sucks. I'd be like, okay. They'd be laughing at me. I'm like, they give me,
He's like, here, look at this. And I'm like,
yeah, I can't stand it. I'd be sitting here going, I can't see that.
he's like, no, the eye doctor. I'm like, I'll wind up with Coke bottles.
Right, exactly. I'm just saving. I'm gonna get lazy.
Come
I'm
on, y'all,
just gonna
because
get
we
lazy.